Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining along and join me this Friday evening. Uh, I got a pretty good guest lined up for you guys. And before I jump into our guest tonight, let me go ahead and cover all the particulars like I usually do. So, if this is your first time following along, we are streaming live on our website. You can go there and check it out, and that is at www.madefromscratchpodcast there. You can catch the live stream. You can also catch us on YouTube. And if you're stopping by our YouTube page, do us a favor. You can hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notifications. It'll let you know when we go live, and it's also let you know when we do drop other content as well. And it is at the same name, at the Made from Scratch broadcast channel there on YouTube. So do us a favor, hook us up, hit the like and subscribe button, everybody. We are trying to build our viewership there. And again, you can check us out on all our other social media platforms. We are streaming live on Facebook at our page, this Made from Scratch broadcast there as well. We are streaming live on Twitter through Periscope, and that is at MFSB Live as well on there. You can drop your comments in there. We can pull them up and interact in the show there. And then also we are streaming live on LinkedIn. So, it's been fun getting to interact and be on LinkedIn. It did take me a while to get it, but I did get it, and I worked very hard. Shout out to Michael Goldberg. He was the one that gave me really good advice that kind of helped me land getting my own LinkedIn. So again, thank you guys. I am there at Gabriel E. Leal on LinkedIn. Connect with me there. You can catch the live as well. And again, thank you guys for coming on the show. You can also go to our website. You can also catch our past episodes as well. They are all up there on the page, and then you can also find the podcast version that we do upload as well. And there's a link to our internet radio station that I've created as well. And there we do stream music, and we do stream past episodes of the podcast. So go check us out. We've got a lot of our media covered there. So guys, we got audio, visual, the whole 9 yards. So appreciate it. And again, we're already getting comments. So first time, huh, Mike? Oh, you're so funny, Mike Padurano. He's been on the show, and he's a friend of mine. But anyway, Steve Sullivan, good to see you, my friend, on LinkedIn. Glad you're here. Appreciate you following along. So let me go ahead and get into tonight's guest. So me and her actually connected through the Content Cafe that Rob Balasavis does, and we started interacting there, and I got into one of his virtual Zoom happy hours, I just came from one of those, and those are pretty fun. If you've never done that, check it out. He's the provider of TubeBuddy. Really love Rob. He's a good guy, and that group there is really fun. So I connected with my guest, Marisa Cali, and ever since then we've been talking back and forth. So I wanted to invite her on the show. She is a social media marketer, but she also does a lot of other things as well. And I found her story pretty interesting on how she got into social media. So guys, without any further ado, let's give a big round of applause and welcome Marisa to the show. Hey everybody. So Marisa is here, and you can go check out a lot of her services over at her website, and it's at www.allthesocial.com. Go check it out. She does offer again, she's also on social media. You can catch her on Instagram at the same name at All the Social. You can catch her on Twitter as well. And then she is on LinkedIn, and that's what she specializes a lot in creating her and helping grow your LinkedIn and your business if you want to do that. So go check her out. So how are you doing, Marisa? Thank you for coming on the show.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime. And again, one of the great things about being able to connect and reach out to people is finding interesting individuals like yourself. And one of the things that I love that you do, again, is you really got into social media marketing. You do a lot of great work, and again, you're also expanding what you're learning as you're going along. So, and I think that's kind of the name of the game. And what we're doing here is to be constantly improving, learning new aspects, learning new things that clients are looking for. So kind of tell us about how you got started in social media marketing in the first place.
Sure. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey that I probably could not predict. Um, the world of online marketing has really changed so much since I got started in 2007. I started out, doing corporate jobs, working 9 to 5, and really learning everything I could about websites. And this is, in a corporate sense, doing it for businesses and stuff. I was always really interested in it. Like from a personal side, I was always like, I think one of like back in 2000, I made like a GeoCities website, like
Yeah.
when you could like make it yourself.
Yeah.
But I've always been like, let me learn on my own. Except for when I was in the corporate setting, you're very structured to that. So I left the corporate world. I got laid off about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Is it 5 years ago? Yeah, 5 years ago in February. And knowing what I knew at the time, I just couldn't find the right role. I had done website management, I have customer service, I've done logos, I've done graphic design, like I've done all of that. And there wasn't really something that fit that role here locally when in San Diego. Um, and so I just kind of did a lot of things for friends and not friends, but like, responding to like Craigslist ads. And, I never
Yeah.
really treated it like a business until maybe a year and a half after that, when you're struggling to pay your bills, or you're chasing a client for them to pay an invoice, because they're going to treat you the way you choose to present yourself as a business.
Yeah.
If you're charging very low amounts, or you're not setting up a contract, they're not going to treat you like a legitimate business, or give you that respect if you're not a business. So I had to learn all of that, being on my own, because they don't teach this. I was already out of school. They didn't teach this in school, and I could have went back to school, but they don't teach you how to run a creative business, or how to be your own boss. There's not stuff like that really. And this is before digital courses, right?
Yeah.
Like you kind of had to learn, similar to like the way you're learning how to do your podcast.
Okay. Yeah.
And like you're learning by doing. And that's
Yeah.
like how a lot of that has happened. And I've been able to develop some really good business connections and relationships in the community, not just here locally, but all over, because I feel like being a social person is just about that, being social, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just say, okay, I'm going to do social media. Like you can't just do social media. You have to be social media, right?
Yeah.
So, it's been really good, and lately in the last 6-7 months, I've been really focused on LinkedIn. I've done speaking gigs, I've done lunch and learns, all of that, and I'm really seeing how impactful I can be. One, to help people grow their businesses on LinkedIn, but also really empower them to be like a better business owner. Like treat them, they're not just a freelancer, they're not just someone who does this on the side. Like treat it as a business. Make sure you're giving yourself that respect, because you'll get that back from your potential clients if you do that.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's everybody's journey has to start somewhere, right? And again, I think that's one of the best ways is by just throwing yourself into the fire. I actually saw a video. This guy was a big social media marketer, right? And he learned the same way. He didn't go to school or nothing, and he invited in like 7 or 8 individuals who went to college for social media marketing and marketing that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he had them sit down with their client, with the quote unquote potential client, because this was all set up, of course. And he told them to kind of come up with a plan that would help sell his business and all this other stuff. And a lot of the stuff that they came up with was really, I mean, they were lost. And and these were people that spent $40,000-$50,000 going back to school learning this as a craft.
Yeah.
And again, he said, I never went to school. I just went out there and started learning how to do it. And I think that's one of the best ways is to get, and again, there's some things you do have to go to school. You just can't go be a doctor.
Right.
So, you do have to go back to study
Mm-hmm.
and learn to do that.
And
But
I did do that. Like I
yeah,
went back to get my professional certificate so that I could learn new concepts of digital marketing online. It was an online marketing certificate, right?
yeah,
To understand what your really focus is. But people want to like sign up with you or work with you for like a day and
yeah,
then like have a workshop or something next month without having an email list, without having a community, like without
yeah,
having anything, and expect it to be successful. Like, well, you haven't been on social. No one knows. Like you can't just it's like a dating thing, right? Like you
yeah.
can't just like take them home the first night. You have to like court
So,
them, right? Like
right?
it's a good analogy to use when you're trying to explain it to like business owners and people who try to do social media. Like you don't just do it. It's like you are it, right?
Yeah. So, that kind of be the same as saying, I'm just going to put a flyer here on this telephone pole, and
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure somebody will find it, right?
Right. And
So,
someone's gonna get enticed and someone's gonna, call you up. Like, yeah, maybe. That's
yeah,
very, very, it could happen, but there's no guarantee. And that's the thing. They want instant results, or like they want to think, okay, I'm gonna put up a post on social and then everyone's gonna come, right? Like,
yeah,
and I've been there, like I've done that. I
yeah,
I learned that I'm never gonna do Black Friday sales.
yeah,
Because I'm like, I did that. I was like, this feels so wrong. Like, I'm like, this is not who I am. Like, to say, here, get a website or get this thing for super discounted price when, like, I mean, who's really like gonna plan a website and pay for it and have it launched within a week if you've
yeah,
never thought about it before? So,
yeah. And again, it does take a lot of work, to get that done, and to think, especially nobody. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't plan and say, "Well, it's Black Friday. Let me go buy a website."
yeah, no, exactly.
A TV, yeah. My website, maybe
Yeah.
not as much, but
Or but it's learning that like you're in a creative group, they're like, what's your Black Friday sale? And so you think you have to have this Black Friday sale, and it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't even fit. Like, I don't have a questionnaire to fill out. Like, it just didn't fit like at the time. But I learned that, and I learned I would never do it again. And I won't
right?
advise it to people unless they have some type of thing building up to it, like they have an email list, or they have maybe they're doing a remarketing campaign,
Yeah,
something that they already have that they want to like push out for
yeah,
Friday.
and now that kind of makes a little bit more sense. But again, when you see people um, that don't have any kind of idea where they want to go, so that's kind of like what I want to go into my next question. So when a client comes to you and
Mhm.
says, how can you help my business? Or my business needs help trying to get some kind of social imprint out there. What's the
Mhm.
first thing that you tell them, or what's the thing? One of the things, some of the keys that you go to say, this is what we probably need to do to get you started.
Yeah, I think I've learned to ask the right questions. One, where are they established in their business? Like, do we have any insight onto like what their goals are? And it's not like goals on social media, like I need 6,000 likes by the end of the month. Like, that's not
Yeah,
what I'm talking about. A goal. I'm talking about business goals. Like, what do you want them to do? Are they signing up for your email list? Are they going to buy a product? Like, what is this goal? Because if I don't understand that, then there's no plan I can put in place for it to be successful.
yeah,
At nothing. I mean, like, then we're just posting online to like think and maybe do something. I don't
yeah,
know. So, and that takes time too. Like, and so I've learned to ask the right questions from the beginning, and even offer some free like advice or tools. Like, today someone came to me to ask me about a logo. I don't say anywhere on my website or anything that I do logos. So why were they coming to me? One, well, maybe because I'm just active and social and they know I'm in this space. But
yeah,
I told them, after a while, I talked to a friend of mine who had done logos before, and we were kind of talking back and forth about it. And I just said, go to Canva. Like, you kind of know what you want. Don't spend, I mean, your budget's lower and like maybe you kind of know what you want. I'd rather you just go to Canva and say, okay, I want this and maybe I want these 3 things in one logo. Can you help me make it so it can be printable on a shirt? Sure. But I'm not going to spend 7, 8 hours and then have them build for that when they
Yeah.
don't have that. They're a startup, right? They need to figure out what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Their hands wet first before they say, okay, we got this every time, because I also don't want to, just take their money, because then
Yeah.
they're just gonna say, well, this logo didn't work and I spent $300 and that's associated to my name,
Yeah.
even though I don't do logos.
Yeah.
So
And again,
knowing where and what questions to ask, and sometimes that takes longer to get the sale.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that you have to approach whenever you're looking to getting into a business, starting a business, doing whatever you're doing from scratch, or even on a low budget, like, right?
Mhm.
So you take these ideas, and again, reaching out to people, asking the right questions, that's very important.
Mhm.
And, again, if you have no clue about what you are or what you stand for as a business, it's going to be kind of hard to find somebody, even like yourself, as knowledgeable as you are, to kind of help you out, So
Yeah.
I'm not here to guide you into what you need. I'm kind of here to guide you into growing what you should already have, So
Yeah.
that's really cool that you do that. Again, because
And I think
that,
it's hard. I mean, I want to add, like, I think when you're starting out as a business, like, you do see everyone as an opportunity to make money sometimes. I mean,
yeah,
that's like it's hard to like get out of that mindset because you feel like you want to help everyone. And I do
yeah,
help everyone, but it's not, in the long run, it's not going to help me grow my business if they've had a bad experience or they don't see the value in what I'm providing them. So
yeah,
it's, sometimes it doesn't work out and that's okay.
yeah,
So it wasn't a good fit or they didn't see what your value was. And
yeah,
that sometimes is because you're so like rushed for like trying to pay your next bill, or like, I need that next client, like I need to grow. And I think it's hard also online because you see so many people. You see, as a marketer, I'm online all the time, but I
yeah,
have to like shut things off. I have to like not go on LinkedIn, not go like, because I see other people, and before I knew and was secure in what I was doing, it was like, wait, I'm not doing that, I need to do that. Hey, I'm not doing an Instagram live, why am I not doing that? I should do it. I don't have to do it. Like, it
no,
doesn't fit me. I can do LinkedIn live or YouTube live, right?
yeah. You don't.
Knowing that.
Yeah, you don't need all the bells and whistles. You don't have to cross every dot, every I and T, and get everything. Again, because it's particular to how each person is. So that's why you kind of like, it's like writing a book or like anything. You tailor it to each individual person. So,
Mhm.
same thing with me. I see other people, and I've kind of wanted to do that, but then I think the same way you do. Wait a minute, that's not me. Let's you know, I don't need to jump into that fire and go learn that. It is cool. I like it, but I mean, again, I still have enough going on right now. I'm learning these other things to, instead of having to go, well, let me jump into this. That's why it's kind of like why I think it's important to, as an individual or as a business, to have a real set of goals where you want to kind of,
Mhm.
that's why funnels and stuff like that are created, to kind of funnel what you want to do, what you
Right.
want to spend, what you want to create, and
Mhm.
go from there. I know it's got to be difficult to find clients who are just all over the place and have no, they think you're a solve it all just because it says
Yeah, I know.
social media marketer.
Yes, I know, and I think it's very key to do that. Imposter syndrome is very real, and
Yeah.
it's with every business owner. They see, I've had people say, like, as much as I see you online, I want to see our stuff too. And I was like, but like, you have to be the same way as me. Like, you have to
Yeah.
know as much, and it's a completely different industry. How is that possible? Like, unless you're willing to get on camera and talk to people like about your business, it's different. Like it's a completely different, thing. And I'm online because I'm making relationships. I'm making relationships online, building relationships and doing that and trying to provide value to the community. And you can go to my profile, you can see all the value I provide, all the posts, like I have a download, like there's so many things there, the YouTube channel, like there's so many things, but it's like I can't say that that's going to be for another business because their business is a different business.
Yeah.
So
And again, it's kind of a misnomer when you say social media marketer, because and everything, they think everything is encompassed in that one word, right? So they would hop on and say, "Hey, tell me about TikTok," and like,
yeah, I downloaded it and then uninstalled it within like 3 days. I was like, nope. Okay, I tried it out. I know how to work, but it's not for me. Like it does. Well, yes, it's great. It's a great way to create. It just wasn't. I was like, oh man, another thing to create. Like I don't even have Snapchat on my phone anymore because it's like I just don't use it, and I'm not there to like chat. I can chat with Gabe. I'm connected with you on LinkedIn and Facebook. And we're on Zoom. So if I can't connect with you there, then there's a problem between two of us. But like you don't have to be on all of them all the time,
Yeah.
So, yes, it's good to have that foundation. And I think it's important to if you're Googling me, you're most likely gonna find me. I mean, there is another Marisa Cali that's a digital marketer and she lives in New York, and I used to live in New York, which was really weird to find that out.
Right.
We actually connected on LinkedIn and like we've chatted for a while, which was really, really odd and weird. But yeah, like Google me or Google the people you're gonna work with and look at their credibility. And that's really key, I think, with anyone you do business with. Like you're not gonna go and buy a car from someone just on the street, right? Like you're going to go to a dealership because they're established.
Yeah. Because again, that's what they build, right? They build trust. They build all these things that they throw in money into, again, marketing to get people to understand.
Whoa, big concept.
Right? Whoa. So, hey, we are reliable. We are trustable. We've been in business for 60 years. We've done all this, right? So,
yeah.
You get that and you get familiar and you get comfortable, as opposed to, a lot that just opened the crowds down the street. Who's probably going to get the business?
Right.
So, again, that's kind of why I think that when people talk about social media marketing and getting on here and creating, the big thing is creating personal brands, right? Even that, everybody's got their own separate, and again, you tailor everything to each individual. You just can't throw everybody on every single platform and expect it to stick. Some people that have 150,000 followers on one platform might only have 200,000, or might only have 2,000 followers on another. I see that a lot, like especially since I've been connecting with a lot of different people. I've had people that I've had on that have huge followings on on TikTok or Instagram, but yet on a platform like LinkedIn or on Facebook, they don't have hardly any kind of presence there, and it's kind of weird. But again, it goes to each individual, so it is kind of tough unless you're Gary Vee and you have 10 people working each social media platform.
Yeah.
Then okay, I understand. Yeah, you're everywhere, but unless you have that, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to have that just cross every single platform, strong presence.
Right.
Some people are stronger on YouTube. You get on YouTube, and some people have, again, they have 100,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube, and you can go on Facebook, and they don't, they have not even half that.
Yeah. Right. And I think that goes to, if they found a niche, if they found something that like, the guy that was on the virtual Zoom, Dole Whip Dad, like he is into that Disney community, which is vast.
Yeah.
But, like if people don't know about him, maybe he can't even go speak. Like maybe that's not his goal, but like he's not connecting with event organizers to speak about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not his goal, but like there's certain things like what are your goals for it? If you're a YouTuber, you're a YouTuber. but maybe I'm not a YouTuber, but I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, me too.
So there's like separate things. And I think, you talked about like the people having like tons of followers. Like, is that great for you as a core person, as a business owner? Like, is that what you're looking for? Because like, I know like if I could go to like social media marketing world, like I can talk to almost anyone there just because I've built the relationship with them. But I don't have 200,000 followers. So like, what is your goal for that? Like the number, or is it like, are you really trying to build relationships?
And that, I truly understand it. That's kind of what I'm doing here, right? I don't have a lot of followers on YouTube. I don't have a ton on Facebook or Instagram, or, even the most I have is probably on LinkedIn, and I got about 2,500 followers, but it's not a lot compared to some people. Some people have 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, and yet don't put out the content, or don't put out, or have the relationships that I have, because that's kind of like what I concentrate on.
Right.
That's how I can get a lot of people who are kind of really present on LinkedIn and some of these other platforms. It's because I go back and I build relationships first. I go back and I talk, and I kind of like what we do with us. We conversated. Yeah. We I didn't just hop on and say, "Hey, Kate, come on my show." I kind of reached out. Right. We kind of get to know each other. I kind of like to build those kind of relationships and get to know somebody.
Right.
And it kind of makes the whole conversation, like what we're having, a little more comfortable.
Right.
And with strangers, right? Even with somebody I don't know at that point, I still like to reach out and have like at least a couple of conversations on a Zoom call, whatever. Get familiar with the people and say, tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, these sort of things. Because again, I think that's for me, that's what's important.
Right. No, it makes a lasting impact, and I think that a lot of people get that misconception because they see us marketers doing that online, and then they want to get into it, and they just don't understand that concept. Like, how many years? I mean, you're getting used to. I don't know how long you've been doing this. I know we talked. You're really getting into doing everything hands on, but like, how long did this take for me to like get comfortable with one, talking about the value that I provide, but also just being on video? Like, it took a long time for me to get on video and just be comfortable. And I think a lot of people like want that success right away. Like, oh, I'm going to make one video and then I'm going to make all my sales.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. Like, it's been a long, and even if you have the biggest budget in the world, that doesn't really matter, because again, it's the courting thing. Like, are you dating them first, or just trying to take them home?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And again, it goes kind of like what you're talking about, right? You do have to, whenever you meet somebody, or when you start building sort of these relationships and getting people to get comfortable, even yourself being comfortable in front of a camera, right? It all takes time. I tell everybody, look, I'm the exception. I'm not the rule. I've only been doing this now. Let's see.
What happened?
This sort of thing. I didn't have a comfortable presence on camera, right? But I tell everybody, go watch my first show. I tell them, that's all I tell them. Go watch my first show. It was. I tell them now, it was crap, right? I've been telling everybody this, but my show still is crap, but it's just a little bit better crap. It's a little bit better crap. I'm better at it. But again, it took time. I'm here 44 episodes in now, and still
good.
Yeah,
good, because a lot of people stop after 2. So
that was a magic number, right? I heard the magic numbers, like for podcasts. If you get past 6, then you'll probably still continue to do it. But 6 was the magic number. So I said, if I get past 6, then I can go to 12, and from there it just kind of kept going. Now the goal's 100, so I'm not that far off. 2.5 months, and at doing 5 nights a week, it's going to add up pretty quick. So I will be at 100 before you know it. So before I get into a little bit more, let me give a shout out to a lot of people who are watching on LinkedIn right now. So Of course, Mike Padurano's on there. Francis Lamello, thank you for joining on. Kenneth Dunner, my friend, appreciate you. Steve Sullivan, I love Steve. He was one of the first guys that really reached out to me and told me to tell my story. So,
Nice.
yeah, and I give a lot to him. David Munford, he's going to be on my show later on. Roz Lowe, thank you, Roz. And then Brooke Gelfand, she was on the show. She was pretty active in the show last night. So thank you guys. I do appreciate you for hopping on and kind of interacting with everything that's been going on. I appreciate that.
So, if they have any questions? I don't know if you take questions from people.
But I take questions all the time. It's something that I kind of started doing with LinkedIn. So I tell everybody, hey, you guys got any questions for Marisa? Go ahead and throw them in. We'll let's see. Brooke,
talk about this too. If anyone has any questions.
Yeah. Yes, let's talk about that here in a sec. Okay. Brooke kind of commented. She said, I think it's important for people to figure out first what platform they're connected with, master that space, then move on to another if you decide to add another platform to reach on. So, yeah, that's kind of true. Take it step by step for some people.
I think what, establish it on other platforms, but like you don't have to go. I know you go live all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about someone who doesn't understand, that like it takes a lot of work to be live everywhere or like post everywhere. Like two of my business mentors, I joined a business group, and they were actually marketers who turned into like business support people.
Yeah.
And it's really a great community, and they have this one concept called 90-10. And 90-10 is like invest all your time into 90% of something, and then the rest of your time on, like the rest, the 10% of your time elsewhere, right? So like you're spending a lot of time knowing, okay, like this is where my ideal client is, or this is where I want to create content, and then the concept is called like also land then expand.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this, and this, and all these things. And it's like, you're only one person. Like, are you going to do it well on like one thing and then expand over? Or are you going to try to do it on all the things, and not, and this is for non-market. I think marketers can figure it out because they're kind of agile. I mean, the industry changes all the time.
Yeah.
But, these are the people that we're going to eventually help. Like, they're not privy to, like, we're very connected to the marketing world all the time, in our groups, and we're always online. But the people doing other businesses are not. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to ask for ads advice or Pinterest. Like, I personally don't know where to ask for Pinterest, but I know that enough now. Like, Pinterest is social media, but I'm like, no, that's not me. Like, it's too hard to keep up with. It was fine maybe in 2007 when or 8 when like all of this was starting, but you cannot keep up with all the changes. Like, Facebook just announced all these other new things, and I'm like, oh, I have to catch up on the news for Facebook because I know people are going to ask me, So.
Yeah, they're going to be curious about it. And again, they're going to see all the cool things that other people might be doing and go, wait a minute, I want to figure that out. I know Marisa. Let me reach out to her. She probably knows. And they're like, whoa, yeah.
I don't know.
But again, that's where they see social media marketer and they think, oh, she knows it. Let me go reach out to her, right? Because again, it's not easy to pull off. So like what Rob does, it's not easy to do. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment to put the time and the effort to, first of all, have the passion to do that and to share that kind of information and do those things. It's not for everybody. And so I think everybody who thinks it just hopping on and doing a live and it's going to encompass everything and it's going to be so easy breezy. Let me tell you what, I'm going to tell you now. It's not. It's fun if you're passionate and it's something that, because again, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm not getting paid. But for me, it's passion, it's fun, it's desire. I get up doing this, I think about this, I go back and I repurpose content. I go do all these other things because that's me learning. That again, that's not for everybody. And So if the same sort of deal with your business, if you're not going to put the time and effort and commit to doing marketing, commit to building through the normal marketing channels and using social media and all these things, it's going to be kind of hard for you to build a presence, right? A lot of small businesses don't take these steps.
Yeah.
And that's again, I think that's a flaw and I get it. You're a small business, right? But I think at some point you have to make that commitment to get yourself out there, because word of mouth can only go so far with a business.
Right.
With and even now, business cards. I mean, what good are they doing you right now? Can I ask?
Right. Yeah, it's my friend on Twitter, he just posted a tweet like about maybe 2 hours ago, like, oh, can we kind of get rid of business cards now? Like, I mean, really, are you gonna exchange it? One, like that's an extra like thing. You have to like sanitize now, right? But like I have a friend who does electronic business cards.
Yeah.
So
Right.
this is going to be a thing. Like you go to conferences, and I'm like, I cannot wait to go to the conference next time and like have that app, because like it just launched, like it just got approved on the Apple Store, and I'm like, oh, okay, I want to use this because I saw such a value in it. Because I leave a conference, I mean, so many people make so many good relationships, and then I'm like, oh, I have this stack of business cards. Like, what am I going to do with this? Like, I
Right.
don't remember who this person is. Like, can I just like connect with you right away? Like, I need that
Yeah,
sometimes.
that would be so much easier. And even like some of these apps, I've seen it where, gosh, I can't remember where I saw it, but like the girl goes up and touches his phone and taps it and gives it like her TikTok page or
Oh,
whatever, right?
mhm.
I said, why don't they use that for business, right? Contact that has your email, your phone, everything else. Go right over there, just say, hold on, cool, let me see your phone, tap them together, bam, you exchange information instantly, and I don't even have to worry about putting your V card or anything else in there.
Right.
Information, you already transferred it instantly.
That's exactly how this app is.
Oh,
So,
does it? Okay.
and it saves trees. Like every app download, they plant a tree. So I'm like, even like that's their why,
Yeah,
right? To save like the environment and like, and I'm like, dude, amazing. Like it's
yeah,
awesome.
right. That's putting two things together: passion for saving trees, and then also looking for an easier, convenient way to share
Right.
information. And now more than ever, we kind of need that.
Yeah.
Even when we do get back together and everybody's out into the world, I don't think it's still going to be
No.
the same sort of deal anymore. So those kind of things, having that available, say, hey, let's just tap phones, let's exchange information.
Yeah.
I'll get in contact with you. That'll probably make everything so much easier in the business world. That's awesome.
Right.
I love that. So let's talk about what's on your shirt there. Um, because, guys, if you don't know, Marissa is a pretty big sports fan. She does love her football. And I'm not talking about, again, if you watch football, it's not the football you're thinking about, guys. No,
I
of course she does.
big American football fan. I used to be. I'm no longer that, but yeah.
Yeah, they took your
Started with
team.
that.
Yeah, they took your team from you, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
The
We,
jerks.
we won't talk about that. That's too much info. That's like a whole nother hour. Yeah, no.
Right.
Um,
So again, but she's kind of like into soccer, what we know
mhm.
here in America, right?
Yeah.
So how did you get into that? Now I've been watching soccer for about 2 years now. I'm not going to say that I'm like really deeply rooted in it, but when I did start getting into it, it did interest me. I started learning about the history of soccer and the history of like the English Premier League, because that's what I love watching.
Yeah.
I think that's where all the action is, and of course, people will watch La Liga and they'll go watch all these other. Again, I can go like you. I can go talk about it because again, I'm a pretty big sports fan, and that's a passion for me. But I don't really put that out there because that's kind of my own little passion thing that I really love.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you say that though, because I was similar to that, like in terms of, well, I don't want to share that. Like I don't want to talk about like that I'm a season ticket. This is when American football was around for me. I was a season ticket holder. I go, all the games. I would travel to away games and stuff. And I just loved one, and it's kind of weird. Like now there's like some similarities between being a business owner because you're building relationships with people within, common interests. So like
Yeah.
you like LinkedIn, right? So like we all hang out on LinkedIn because we're cool and like we like that. So we like the same team. Yeah, we're friends and we become like, we start talking about more things. So I became a football fan with the actual foot soccer.
Yes.
Um, when I became like, it was like 2006. I was working in New York and I started watching World Cup soccer. That's how I got into it. And then that kind of evolved, and I now follow Arsenal. That's my team, and I do follow the Premier League. And it's you said that you follow like Premier
I
League and whatever, and you don't really follow the other leagues. But I feel like it's very similar to marketing. Like I'm gonna like master
yeah.
one league, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
learn about it. I'm gonna learn about all the tournaments, and then maybe I will adopt another league or a team, and that's kind of how it's happened here. Like I started with World Cup, and then I'm like, okay, now I kind of understand. It's simple to understand. It's like one summer, the tournament, the kick, the
Yeah.
eliminations, and then you try to do another league, and you're like, okay, like they have different tournaments and different rules, and yes, it's 90 minutes, yes, it's constant action, but there's different standings, right? So
Yeah.
you're learning all these different platforms. I'm going to use the analogy, um,
Mhm.
and you're learning that, and you really
It's my
kind of your dog doesn't like soccer. Okay, that's
yes.
fine.
He doesn't like people.
But it just kind of evolved into like being more immersed in it and learning about it and just becoming a fan that way. I worked for a soccer club here locally, doing their social media, so I was able to really blend my digital marketing and online marketing experience into like my love of sports.
Yeah.
And now I have, like I have my business, I have my main clients, but I also have a client who does a sports media slash blog network, and
Yeah.
I'm able to utilize my skill set and help him learn how to like be a better network. Like
Yeah.
he's not ESPN, but he needs to be as much like as close to it as he can without all the dollars, right? And
Yeah.
make relationships and talk about what he does online and share. And we get invited to like special tournaments or special summits that are put up. Like last year we got invited to ESPN Women's Summit, where it was just 400 people of women in sports, and like I
Wow.
got to go because he had built those relationships in the network,
Yeah.
in the network, and understood how that is important.
Yeah.
And Robin Roberts spoke.
Oh
um
wow.
these were Katie
Yeah.
Nolan, like
Yeah. These are
Sarah Spain, and we got to like converse with them like at their event. And this is like, wow, like I'm amazed, but without sharing the knowledge that I did with marketing, but also then working with my client, and he's a good friend. I've been working with him for 5 years now. Like we talk about sports, and now we're not ashamed. Like I posted one of my most engaged posts was me in front of the sign, the ESPNW thing, because it was like, oh wow, like she likes sports too, like I like sports, and you kind of bond, and then you build those relationships. And I have a soccer podcast too, and I bring my marketing knowledge to that, you know.
oh my
And so,
gosh.
but it's turned into like I'm having like in the last 2 weeks, like with all of this, oh, last month, sorry, I think it's like 2 weeks, it's like 6 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
um, I've had friends reach out to me to say, like, can you help me with my live stream, or can you help me with online training? Because I don't know these tools, right?
Yeah.
These are people that I've learned, that I've met through soccer,
Yeah.
So it's like, what if you're not sharing things that you love, and you're not sharing your knowledge in terms of marketing with your community of like the fun stuff,
Yeah.
right? And interchanging them, then how do people identify with you? Because there's tons of marketers.
Yeah.
You can pick from anyone. You can Google
Yeah.
it and you can find anyone, and they'll all give you a proposal. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of them will give you a proposal.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to pick the one that that has the best price, or are you going to pick the one that you feel most comfortable
with? And that's the one you're probably going to go with, right?
And there might be more expensive than the cheaper one, but it's because you have that trust level. You've built up that, relationship already. So that's kind of like why I don't feel ashamed to share about my sports.
Yeah. Well, the reason I don't, because if I do, I could actually go off on a tangent and spend 4 hours talking about it. That's how much, and I love doing it. But again, I'm trying to concentrate on this. And plus, when I say, "Oh, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan," I always get the, exactly. See, look, and same thing.
Hey, I heard he had a really fun time yesterday at the draft, but I mean, I was producing the stream for the NFL draft. I was watching my guests. Like, I was not watching the whatever was going on. Like, I was watching and then talking, but I heard things, and so it's like, I get it. I understand, like, you're a Cowboys fan. It's okay. Like, I don't have an allegiance. As long as you don't say you're part of that team that left. We don't say that word around here.
That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy, folks. I'm pretty sure they're feeling the same way if you're a Raiders fan. Of course,
they've considered being a Raiders fan because of all of this. So
because that poor franchise has been through hell. They've gone from Oakland to LA to Oakland back to LA, and now they're in freaking Las Vegas.
But they have a really nice stadium. So
I saw it. There's nothing wrong with it, believe me. But again, it's not like those fans hated their team, though. That was kind of what sucks, is when you get a team pulled out from under you like that, and then you feel like, what the heck, but again, that's sports, and again, I gotta be quiet because I'll go whole 2 hours talking about So, and then I started laughing for a second. That wasn't at you. David Munford, who's watching the show right now, he kind of made a remark that made me giggle, because the other night I was on for 2 hours with Brian Shulman, and then towards the end of the show, I usually have my dog in here with me when I'm doing my show. Nobody knows that. Well, my dog started going nuts, and because he wanted to get out and go do whatever he needed to go do, and he just started barking on the air. So he barked for like 2 minutes straight. So I was sitting there trying to end the show, say goodbye to Brian, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just being so loud. And David had kind of mentioned, he said, "Hey, I guess it's again time to end the show." So I started laughing because, again, my dog was just, again, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It was Wednesday night. Me and Rob Schultz, Brian Schultz, we were on there for 2 hours, and it was almost at the 2 hour mark when my dog started doing that. He was he was dang near crying laughing, because I was sitting here trying to hurry up and end the show. Hey, everybody, think. My dog would shut up, so that was kind of fun. And
the dogs are like, "Why are you home? Like, you need to go to work." Like,
I know, right?
She's looking at me right now. My dog is over there. She's like, "Why are you talking to a computer? You're not talking to anyone."
They look at you so like you're the dumbest thing. What are you doing?
She's judging me so hard.
But I love it, though. That's awesome. So, again, this is why, even though I write questions and do this, I do it for every guest, right? Every guest, no matter who it is, who I have on. But sometimes the conversation just flows like we've been doing now. I really don't pay attention to the questions, because, again, if somebody feels comfortable with me and we can just talk about anything, that's what I like to bring to the forefront. That's what we'll talk about, and that's what goes out and shares on the air. And here we go. We're already 50 minutes into this conversation, and it goes by so fast, so quick. And so that's what I tell people who aren't used to being on a live stream, or who are kind of uncomfortable. Look, I said, look, just relax, start talking, collect your thoughts, talking to the camera straight ahead. It's no problem. Act like nobody's there. Start saying what you want to say. People will start interacting, and if there's again, there's nothing to really feel super nervous about.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start doing it, the first 10 minutes are the hardest part for me to get people past. And I've kind of had people on and I kind of coach them a little bit before we go live
Mm-hmm.
because they'll tell me, this is my first live. I'm kind of a little bit intimidated,
Yeah.
but but it kind of it kind of gets going there. But before we get out of here, I do ask this every question of every guest that I have on. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you. So, whenever once we get past all this current crisis and everything goes, what are your future plans? What you got anything you're working on? What are plans for Marisa Cali going forward?
Oh wow, that's a heavy loaded question, and
Yeah.
I don't what a lot of the things that I've learned during this time is that I put a lot of pressure on myself for what's next
Yeah.
instead of like living right now. And so I think one of the things, my future plan is to continue enjoying the moment
Yeah.
and what this time is bringing, like the stillness. Yes, I'm very busy. Yes, I'm constantly doing things, doing virtual calls, podcasts, and stuff like that. But just enjoying right now because the universe is really going to bring me those opportunities based on like the relationships that I've built, the knowledge that I have. Yes, I have goals. Obviously, that's not. But I think I've been working so long like this that it's really I've been putting pressure. Like, okay, I need to get to this certain thing by this time.
Yeah.
So being more present is one of my goals in terms of my business, because if I'm not doing a good job with maybe even writing out a process for someone to help me, then I'm focused too much. Like, if I'm not focused on that to make it clear and find the right person, then I can't get to that next step. Like, if I'm just going to whip up, okay, this is what you need to do. And like, if you don't find the right person to help you, then you're going backwards. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of my goals, and what I've learned to understand during this time is
Yeah.
because the imposter syndrome. Like, I thought I was going to have a course by February. I don't have it, but look what happened. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but I'm helping I'm helping people like do their live streams, or really kind of figuring out and coaching people on like
Yeah.
different marketing things. If we didn't have this time, uncertain time, I don't think I would be going down this path. So I'm understanding that like it's a constant flow as long as you're learning every day and growing, and obviously get to your goals for, bigger things. You
Yeah.
have your, I want to go see the Northern Lights, and I want to become like a full-time I am a remote worker, but like not necessarily live here. I may
Yeah.
want to go somewhere else. So it's understanding that and just being okay with accepting who you are,
Yeah.
and where so
Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. And of course, um, the last one that usually I ask everybody, and it's pretty deep and morbid, but what kind of legacy you want to leave behind whenever all is said and done, when the book's done on Marisa Cali? What is the one thing
yeah.
you want to be remembered for?
Oh, I think that's a really heavy question, but I would like to inspire abundance in other people. What that means, it's whatever you feel you need to fill your life to make it full.
Yeah.
So I would like to help that. So what it is it a business? Is it completely quitting your day job and going, like there's so many different things, but I would like to be that person for the people that are in my community, and make an impact where I can with who I can, but not necessarily everyone, because that's not how it works, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. So awesome answer. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming on the show. I do appreciate you sharing your time with me this evening. And again, thank you everybody who's come along and commented during the show. I do appreciate everybody's support. Again, all the gratitude in the world. Thank you everybody for coming along. I do love doing this for you guys, and it's a passion for me, and I do enjoy having the opportunity to talk to people like Marisa and bring them to light, bring them on my show. So thank you, Marisa, for coming on. I do, again, say one more time, thank you for all the time. And then again, guys, check out Marisa. Go see her website. You can go to www.allthesocial.com. Connect with her if you haven't connected with her on LinkedIn yet.
It's my preferred connection on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So, and then she does have other social media. She's on Twitter. She's on Instagram. Go connect with her on LinkedIn. You'll see a lot of what she does and a lot of the good things she puts out there as well. So thank you, Marisa, for coming on the show. Thank you guys for coming on. I'll be back here Monday evening, 7:00, and Sunday I'll come on live and I'll just run over the guests for the week like I've been doing. And again, thank you guys for coming to the show. Go check out all the replays if you want. Go to the website. You can go catch all the past episodes. All this stuff will be uploaded to the Instagram TV that I have, and then you can go catch it on YouTube on the replay. So thank you, Marisa, for coming on. Thank you guys for coming along Friday night. I'll see you Monday, 7:00 Central Standard Time. Be safe. Like I've been telling you, be safe.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Do your good social distancing. We're all going to get past this. It's just going to take a matter of time, folks. So be safe. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.